Hello friends, it's Raychich, and in this video I wanna discuss with you new pad of Exile Affliction League. Yesterday we saw a presentation of new league mechanics as well as patch notes, and I can say that this league really looks like something big and interesting. Let's go over the most important things we know about new league, patch notes and global changes. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like it. Let's start with the most interesting new mechanics in the league. In the Affliction, we will encounter Sacred Wisps, a new location very reminiscent of Delph. As we progress, we only see a few meters around the character, and various monsters will be encountered on our way. As we explore, we might see other types of wisps trapped inside the darkness. The Wildwood is trying to guide us towards clues about its affliction, so we should follow the trails of wisps by collecting them, and we may uncover many different secrets, its new monsters, shrines, bosses, and rewards. After collecting these wisps, we will return from the Wildwood, and in this location, any wisps that we saved from the Affliction will inhabit randomly chosen monsters, increasing their power and also their rewards. The different types of wisps have different effects, and sometimes more than one type will inhabit a single monster, making the fight even harder and even more rewarding. Primal Wisps is blue, grant an item rarity bonus. Wild Wisps is purple, grant an item quantity bonus, and Vivid Wisps, yellow, cause them to drop currency items. If a monster gets all three types, they will drop more items of a higher rarity and a lot of currency. While exploring the Wildwood, we will find three characters. Each of them have different survival specializations, and in simple words is like a second ascendancy, and they're willing to teach us as we agree to help them defeat the source of the affliction, the King in the Mists. So we can choose one of three new ascendancy classes. Up to 8 points for these classes are unlocked, as we complete more quests for the Asmeri we're treeing under. And now I will tell you fast about each ascendancy. The Warden of the Magic can teach us apply tinctures to our weapons, granting powerful effects, and we can equip these tinctures in our flask slots and toggle them on and off at will. We can only have one enabled at a time, but as they have different effects, we can have more than one equipped and swap between them during combat. There are many different tinctures with really strong buffs, like always stunning while enemies on full life and wizard debuffs, or cooling strike with headhunter effect and increased damage against enemies on low life. And we can buy more tinctures from the Warden of Eves, using Primal Wisps when we find her in the forest. Also, Warden of the Magi Ascendancy has a lot of different passives on a tree, but I will not talk about every passive in this video. Just remember, this ascendancy is about tinctures and I guess it's super strong. The Breaker of Oaths can teach us to become a Warlock of the Mists. One powerful ability you can choose is Bloodhunt, which grants an active skill called Ravenous. Consuming a corpse with this skill gives a buff to damage against that type of monster you killed, and reduces damage taken by it. The Breaker of Oaths has a shop where you can buy corpses for Wild Wisps. For example, we bought an Eldritch corpse and Maven boss also has the same type, so it means we get buffs against this boss. Also, we can turn some of these corpses into our specters that will help us in the map. The Breaker of Oaths has many other good passives and I will not talk about it now. Just remember, this ascendancy is strong for boss farming and minions. The Primal Huntress can teach us to become a Wildwood Primalist. This ascendancy lets you customize your tree, with charms that you can buy from the Primal Huntress for Vivid Wisps. Charms have randomly generated mods which give stats from regular ascendancy classes, allowing you to create your own special ascendancy class. So it can be super strong if you got right charms for your build. As a Primalist, we also get access to a few other interesting abilities. For example, use Werkreis next to corpses and they have a chance to drop an extra item, and that's funny and cool. And it opens nearby chests too. The Primalist also gets a small extra backpack, but I don't think it's really useful. So just remember, this class can be the strongest for your own build, if you have right charms and good hands. Also, if you are unhappy with your ascendancy class or you found a really good item for the other class, you are able to change it next time you will find one of the Asmeri Wanderers, but you will need to do their quests. Ultimatum is going core. Finally, and I really like this mechanic with waves of monsters and double rewards. To my mind it feels much better than Ritual and it's much faster. I guess everybody knows how Ultimatum works, but if you don't, it's okay. When playing through endgame maps, you may sometimes encounter the Trial Master, who offers you a choice to undertake a deadly wild trial in exchange for rewards. If you defeat the trial, he offers to go double or nothing with you. So you can take your reward now or choose one of the debuffs and go for a next round for a better reward. In a new league, GGG reworked Ultimatum mechanic and now it has more interesting debuffs, including both new and reworked uniques. The base number of rounds now is 10, with a chance to spam the trial boss fight on the last round. Also in Affliction League, Metamorph has been removed from the game, completely, and all the rewards from Metamorph have now been removed to be rewarded for Ultimatum. They have also added a new wild-themed catalyst that works on Corrupted Ring, Amulet or Belt. And as is normal for most content in game, we have new Ultimatum passive skills on the Atlas tree. For example, there is one good passive that makes Ultimatums last 3 extra rounds, but you cannot choose the modifiers and can't find a boss. Now something that really changes a big part of our gameplay in PoE. Alternative quality gems, labyrinthine chants have been removed from the game. And now we have a new gem mechanic called transfigured gems. In simple words, it's something like an alternative quality gems, but in a new form. These gems can change different mechanics and there will be a lot of them. And I guess soon we will see a full list of new transfigured gems. We can get these transfigured gems in a labyrinth because now Divine Font has been changed to a gem crafting device that can modify your skill and support gems in a lot of new ways, and one of the options is to turn a skill gem into one of the 3 transfigured gems and you can choose one of them. Also, you can do many other things with Divine Font. For example, you can add quality to gems or experience or exchange a support gem for random exceptional gem like Empower or Enlighten. And what I think about new gem mechanic is huge. It's huge because it changes the gameplay we know so much. I really want to see all these new gems. Also, in order to replace the reward in haste that previously gave alternative quality gems, GGG have done a rebalance of the reward of haste as well. New replica uniques have been added and old ones changed, and they have increased the amount of currency from display cases as well. Now it's time to talk a little about patch notes. As always, a lot of changes, a lot of information, but I will only talk about things that I think are important. About league mechanics, in patch notes we see that drop rate of Forbidden Tomes has been reduced, and it means that now Sanctum farm is not as profitable as before, because it can be reduced so much and the drop rate can be incredibly low, but now this is just a guess. About skill gems, there are a lot of changes, not only in numbers, but also in the AoE mechanic and radius. The number of projectiles and items to change the meta. Many skill gems have received an additional 1-2 projectiles, which will greatly increase the damage. Others received additional targets, which is also good for damage and clearing speed. I will not talk about every skill gem, but regarding those that were popular previously, I have something to say. Righteous Fire has been somewhat nerfed, as its damage now depends on the character's maximum health, meaning that the skill tree needs to be completely changed. Burning damage has also been reduced and AoE slightly increased. I think Box will rework the build and everything will be okay. Tornado Shot got +1 secondary projectile instead of providing 20% increased projectile damage, and I think it's a good buff on an early Tornado Shot gameplay, because this change increases clear speed really good. Spark now has a lower projectile speed, but the total number of projectile is +2, and I think this is even better than before because you can easily increase the speed of projectiles in other ways, and increasing the number of projectiles is much more difficult and expensive, so Spark is alive. But Lightning Arrow now has +2 additional targets but lower chance to shock enemies. It's better for clear speed, but as for me, I don't like Lightning Arrow, but I guess it can be really good and really easy league starter. This league Bone Shatter has more damage per trauma but lower stun duration on enemies, and I don't know if it's good or not. For damage it's yes, but survivability it can be no. Frostblades in this league got a good buff. +2 total projectiles, and I played Frostblades before with Head Shiver. Now it's totally nerfed, so it's better to play with a rare helmet. In general, all the changes in skill gems are now difficult to evaluate, since the mechanics themselves haven't been reworked and we are waiting for the new version of PoB to check the numbers. About support gem changes, there are some nerfs, like plus chain mine support, high impact mine support and minefield support. They all now have lower mine throwing speed and it's a big nerf for miners. As for good changes, inspiration support with regular quantity, not quantity, quality, now have reduced mana cost. It's a good buff. That's all I wanted to tell you about gems. Maybe I missed something, you can just tell me in comments. Now we are at the moment when it's time to talk about changes to unique items, which really turned the previous meta upside down. The Ashes of the Stars unique amulet no longer provides increased reservation efficiency of skill, and it's extremely nerfed. The Head Shiver unique helmet now gain only 30% of cold damage as extra fire against frozen enemies. Previously it was 100. I guess this league Head Shiver is dead. The replica Dragonflang's Flight unique amulet received 3 nerfs. Less resistances, less reservation efficiency, and less reduced attribute requirements. Totally nerfed. Next item was really popular for cheap fast builds with Rage Berserk setup. The Chaos Spirit unique glows now regenerate 1 rage per second for every 300 life recovery from regeneration. Previously it was for every 100 life recovery, it's 3 times nerfed. So what it means, in Affliction League it will be much harder to make rage setups. And in my opinion about item changes, just GGG wanted to change items meta and did it in a really easy way, just nerfs. So if we summarize everything what we see in this league, the changes are huge in terms of mechanics and the way we play. The meta has shaken up a little, but I don't think there will be major changes in the choice of builds. Well, I really tried to fit all the important information in this short video. If I forgot something important, write please in the comments. I'm really looking forward to this league and I will make videos as soon as possible. Also, video about league statuses and early farming methods will be released soon. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and be kind in comments. It was Raychich. Bye.